All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Second nationwide dry run of COVID-19 vaccination drive to be held today in 736 districts of 33 states and union territories. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.36% in the country. Government to hold 8th round of talks with farmer unions in New Delhi today. JEE advanced test to be held on 3rd of July this year. And in cricket, Australia 280 for 7 against India on second day of Sydney Test. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The second nationwide dry run on the COVID-19 vaccination will be held today. The massive mock drill will be held in 736 districts across 33 states and union territories. The objective of this dry run is to simulate the actual vaccine administration event. The entire planning of the vaccination drive, including beneficiary registration, micro-planning and vaccination at the planned session site, will be tested under the leadership of district collector or district magistrate. The dry run will also familiarize the state, district, block and hospital level officers on all aspects of COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Our correspondent reports that around 1,70,000 vaccinators and 3 lakh vaccination team members have been trained on the process to be followed at the vaccination sites.
The country's drugs regulator has approved Covishield and Covaxin for restricted emergency use in the country. The first round of dry run was held across the country on 2nd of this month. The exercise is being done to ensure efficient planning and management for vaccine delivery in each district. The second dry run will be held in 736 districts across 33 states and union territories except Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. Each district will identify 3 types of session sites similar to the previous dry run, including public health facility, private health facility and rural or urban outreach site. With Dipendra Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
As the country prepares for the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan will be visiting Tamil Nadu today to personally review the preparedness and oversee the dry run operations at the scheduled sites. More from our Chennai correspondent.
Stage is set ready for the second dry run for COVID-19 vaccine today. The arrangement is to vaccinate 100 persons per day. The state has put 51 walk-in coolers and will start the vaccination as soon as the center gives the approval. State already has a stock of 17 lakh syringes for the purpose. The syringes have been sent to 45 warehouses in the district a day ago. In the first phase, 6 lakh health workers in the government, private and armed forces would receive vaccine. While 47,000 vaccine sites are readied, the health workers would be covered at nearly 3,000 sites with 100 persons a day. The first dry run was conducted successfully at 17 centers in 5 districts on the 2nd of this month. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Yesterday, Dr. Harshvardhan interacted with the health ministers and principal secretaries of the states and union territories through video conferencing to review the preparedness for the dry run. The union health minister also expressed gratitude to the scientific community who have worked tirelessly for the 2 vaccines which have recently received the emergency use authorization.
2 वैक्सीन्स ऐसी हैं जिनके बारे में हम लोग जानते हैं, जिनके बारे में सारे देश ने जो घोषणा है उसको सुना है कि 2 हमारी वैक्सीन्स जो है उनको इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशन मिल गया है और उन वैक्सीन्स को देश की, समाज के लोगों की कोविड से सुरक्षा के लिए उन वैक्सीन्स का इस्तेमाल करने की स्टेज के अंदर हम सब लोग आज आकर खड़े हो गए हैं और कुछ ही समय के बाद हम लोग यह सारी प्रक्रिया को शुरू करेंगे.
The Health Minister highlighted the unique digital platform CoWIN, repurposed from the eWIN platform that will provide real-time information of vaccine stocks their storage temperature, and individualized tracking of beneficiaries of the COVID-19 vaccine. He stated that more than 78 lakh beneficiaries have been already registered on the platform. The minister reassured all his state counterparts that the country's cold chain infrastructure has been sufficiently upgraded to ensure last-mile delivery and that adequate supplies of syringes and other logistics have also been provided for. Dr. Harshvardhan requested the health ministers to be vigilant against rumours and disinformation campaigns regarding the safety and efficacy of the vaccine. Karnataka is also geared up for the dry run of COVID-19 vaccination drive. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
In Karnataka, the vaccination dry run will be conducted in 263 locations in the state today. Speaking to media in Bengaluru yesterday, the State Health Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar said that a detailed discussion was carried out with the central government regarding preparations for the distribution of COVID vaccine. The dry run will be conducted in 7 locations in each district. The dry run will be held at 24 district hospitals, 20 medical colleges, 43 taluk hospitals, 31 community health centers, 87 primary health centers, 30 urban primary health centers and 28 private health centers across the state. Once the actual vaccination process begins, 6.30 lakh healthcare workers serving in both government and private sector who have registered for vaccination will be administered the COVID vaccine. The minister said that the window for registration is still open. R. Murthy, AR News, Bengaluru.
In Chhattisgarh, a dry run to assess the readiness for the COVID-19 vaccination drive is being held in 21 districts. Mock drill was conducted in 10 districts yesterday. In remaining 11 districts, the dry run will be held today. More from our Chhattisgarh correspondent.
In Chhattisgarh, a mock drill was held in capital Raipur and 6 other districts on January 2nd under the guidance of central government to ensure effective preparedness for the COVID-19 vaccination. Out of the total 28 districts in the state, now the dry run is taking place in remaining 21 districts. The dry run will be held in 1 urban and 1 rural center of each district from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. After the mock drill, the district task force concerned will review the entire process and submit its report by January 9. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
In Assam, dry run for COVID-19 vaccination will be carried out across the state today to test the preparedness. Our Guwahati correspondent has filed a report.
The mock drill on COVID vaccination is being carried out in all the 33 districts in Assam. On previous occasions, dry run was conducted at Kamrup Metropolitan, Nalbari and Sanitpur districts. Today, dry run is being conducted at 3 health institutes in each district. A total of 25 beneficiaries are being invited to each center. In Guwahati, the mock drill is being conducted at Dhirenpara, North Boma and Artgaon health institutes. Apart from the dry run, 3 days training to health workers is also being conducted, covering 12,000 nurses. So far, nearly 2 lakh frontline workers, including health workers, ASHA and Anganwadi workers, have registered themselves for the COVID vaccination. Manas Pratim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
In Maharashtra also, all arrangements have been made for COVID-19 vaccination dry run. State Health Minister Rajesh Tope said that the dry run will be conducted at 3 healthcare centres in each district and 1 centre in municipal corporation limits. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Tope, during a video conferencing with Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, demanded Centre to make arrangements to provide vaccines free of cost to the needy people. He said the data of 8 lakh health workers in Maharashtra, including those employed in government and private sectors, is already uploaded on CoWIN application developed for mass vaccination. The Centre and Maharashtra governments have already decided to administer vaccines free of cost to health and frontline workers in the first phase. On the availability of COVID-19 vaccine, Tope said the Centre might inform the state government in next 7 days about the large-scale availability of the dosages. Deobri Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
The government has said that the vaccination for COVID-19 is voluntary. The Health Ministry has come out with a series of frequently asked questions about COVID-19 vaccine on various aspects. The ministry said it is advisable to receive the complete schedule of COVID-19 vaccine for protecting oneself and limiting the spread of the disease. Infected individuals should defer the vaccination for 14 days after symptoms resolution, as they may increase the risk of spreading the virus to others at the vaccination site. The ministry said the vaccine introduced in India will be as effective as any other vaccine developed by other countries, as various phases of vaccine trials are undertaken to ensure its safety and efficacy. Eligible beneficiaries will be informed through their registered mobile numbers regarding the health facility for vaccination and its scheduled time. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to states of Maharashtra, Kerala, Chhattisgarh and West Bengal, urging them to take steps to curb the spike in COVID-19 cases. These states are reporting an upsurge in the number of daily new cases in the recent days. They comprise 59% of the total active cases in the country. The states have been advised to maintain a strict vigil and to take steps to keep a check on the rising cases, especially in view of the new strain of the virus being observed in certain countries, which has also been reported in a few states in India. The Health Secretary drew the attention of the states to the low and declining testing rates, stating that any laxity at this crucial junction may squander the results of collective action in containing the transmission.
India has crossed a significant milestone in its fight against COVID-19 with over 1 crore recoveries. The total number of patients successfully recovered so far from the viral contagion surpassed the tally of 1 crore 16,000. The rate of new daily infection also continues to remain below 25,000, with only 20,346 cases being reported in the past 24 hours. The gap between the recovered patients and active cases in the country has further widened, and the number of recovered patients stands at 44 times the number of current active cases. The active caseload in the country comprises nearly 228,000 people and stands at 2.19%. Out of these, nearly 60% are under home isolation and have mild to very mild symptoms. The national cumulative recovery rate continues to register gradual improvement and stands at 96.36%, with recovery of over 19,587 people in the last 24 hours. The government today said that the COVID-19 recovery rate of India is amongst the highest in the world. The COVID-19 recovery rate of Brazil is 89.36%, Russia 81.17%, Italy 70.68%, USA 59.59%, and UK is 47.44%. The Delhi government has ordered reopening of its medical colleges with immediate effect. The decision to this effect was taken following a decline in number of COVID-19 cases in the national capital and on the assessment of the current situation. Delhi government in an order has said that the medical colleges will be reopened by observing proper social distancing and standard operating procedures SOPs. In the first instance, the first-year MBBS and BDS batch will be called in staggered manner, and teaching and practical will be completed within 1.5 to 2 months from the date of reopening of the college. Subsequently, final year students will be allowed to join college.
Gujarat has conducted more than 1 crore tests for COVID-19 till now. According to the State Health Department, the recovery rate has further improved to 94.92% in the state. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Gujarat has recorded 667 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. The total number of COVID-19 cases detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,49,913. Out of this, 2,37,222 patients recovered. 899 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. Maximum 133 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 120 new cases. At present, total active cases in the state are 8,359, out of which 58 patients are on ventilator. 3 patients died yesterday due to COVID-19. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Talking to All India Radio, Dr. Geeta Kampani, a senior physician at Safdarjung Hospital in Delhi, said the mock drill of the coronavirus vaccination drive will assess the operational feasibility prior to actual implementation. Dr. Kampani said the results of the previous 2 dry runs have been satisfactory.
ऑल ओवर इंडिया ड्राई रन है एक्सेप्ट इन द स्टेट्स ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश एंड हरियाणा. उनके परिणाम सैटिस्फैक्ट्री हैं, कोई लॉजिस्टिक इश्यूज नहीं पाई गई हैं और इट हैज बीन सक्सेसफुल कि वैक्सीन जो ऐप है वो भी रजिस्ट्रेशन सक्सेसफुल रही है और कोई लॉजिस्टिक इश्यूज उसकी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में वैक्सीनेशन में नहीं पाई गई है.
A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Second nationwide dry run of COVID-19 vaccination drive to be held today in 736 districts of 33 states and union territories. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.36% in the country. Government to hold 8th round of talks with farmers' unions in New Delhi today. JEE advanced test to be held on 3rd of July this year. And in cricket, Australia 292 for 7 against India on second day of Sydney Test. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
The centre will hold the 8th round of talks with the representatives of farmer unions in New Delhi today to address the issues concerning them. In the earlier meeting on the 4th of this month, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar had said that the government wanted farmer unions to discuss the 3 farm laws clause-wise, but they could not find any solution as farmer unions remained adamant on the repeal of these 3 laws. The government has repeatedly assured the farmers' leaders that it is committed to address their issues and both sides need to take steps forward to arrive at an amicable solution. Mr. Tomar had reiterated that minimum support price MSP and the mandi system will continue like before.
और हम लोगों ने अपने तर्कों से उनको यह बताने की कोशिश की कि किसान की कठिनाई कहाँ है और जहाँ कठिनाई है वहाँ खुले मन से सरकार विचार करने को तैयार है। इसी प्रकार से एमएसपी के विषय में भी सरकार पहले ही यह कहती रही है कि एमएसपी जारी है, जारी रहेगी। पिछले बार जब हमने प्रस्ताव दिए थे उस समय भी हमने ये कहा था कि एमएसपी जारी रहेगी, ये लिखित में सरकार देने को तैयार है। हम उस पर अभी भी दृढ़ हैं, लेकिन उन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि एमएसपी को कानूनी दर्जा मिलना चाहिए। तो कानून के विषय में और एमएसपी के विषय में चर्चा अभी पूर्ण नहीं हुई है, चर्चा जारी है और हम लोग 4 तारीख को 2 बजे फिर से इकट्ठा होंगे और इन विषयों पर चर्चा को आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
The government has said that more than 67,89,000 paddy farmers have been benefited from the current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with minimum support price value of over 98,000 crore rupees. The Agriculture Ministry said government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. The government through its nodal agencies has also procured over 2,78,000 tons of moong, urad, groundnut pods and soya bean, benefiting more than 1,48,000 farmers.
In the wake of recent unusual deaths of poultry, crows, migratory birds reported from Kerala, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh, Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying held a meeting with the states. The meeting was convened to understand the status of the outbreak of avian influenza and to suggest measures to states and UTs for control, containment and prevention of the spread of the disease. So far, the disease has been confirmed only from Kerala, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. Culling operations are underway in the affected districts of Kerala. During the meeting, it was emphasized that besides increasing surveillance around water bodies, live bird markets, zoos and poultry farms, proper disposal of carcass and strengthening of biosecurity in poultry farms may be ensured. States were requested to be prepared for any eventuality of avian influenza and to ensure sufficient stock of PPE kits and accessories required for culling operations. In Rajasthan, deaths of over 300 birds were reported in 6 districts yesterday. More than 1,600 birds have died in the state so far. Bird flu has been confirmed in 6 districts of the state. More from Jaipur correspondent. The Madhya Pradesh government has ordered closure of poultry shops in Neemuch and Indore districts for a week after bird flu infection was found among chickens in these areas. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The state veterinary department has informed that avian influenza or bird flu virus was found in chicken samples from Neemuch and Indore. Samples of crow carcasses from 7 districts also reports presence of bird flu virus. The National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases, Bhopal, confirmed presence of bird flu virus in the samples of crows from Indore, Neemuch, Dewas, Ujjain, Khandwa, Khargone and Guna districts. In Indore and Neemuch, chicken samples also tested positive for the flu strain. The The state government has directed authorities in Indore and Neemuch districts to immediately close all poultry shops for the next 7 days. Other preventive measures are also being taken. On Wednesday, the state government has said it would not allow entry of chicken consignments from Kerala and other southern states for the next 10 days. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has announced the Joint Entrance Examination JEE Advanced 2021 examination date and the eligibility criteria for admission into Indian Institutes of Technology IITs. The minister informed that JEE Advanced 2021 will be held as a computer-based test on 3rd of July this year. The eligibility criteria of scoring minimum 75% in Class 12 has been relaxed for taking admission in IITs this year. The exam will be conducted by IIT Kharagpur this year. Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has appealed to the students, parents and teachers to come forward with the unique and creative ideas to make Toykathon 2021 a grand success. In a video message yesterday, the minister said India's toy industry is worth 10,500 crore rupees and the country imports 80% of toys from outside. He said the Toykathon will provide a unique platform to conceptualize innovative toys based on the Indian value system, which will inculcate the positive behavior and good value among the children. The minister said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India can be a biggest manufacturing hub for toys.
Ayush Minister Shripad Yeso Nayak has said the demand for Ayush products has increased threefold during the coronavirus pandemic. The minister said amid the COVID-19 crisis, our Ayurvedic medicines have been used in as many as 100 countries as an immunity booster and is slowly gaining momentum across the world. He was speaking at the inaugural function of the 2 new departments of Central Ayurveda Research Institute in Jhansi. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
A first of its kind in the country, the repository will have 500 varieties of medicinal plant samples to be used for research purposes. The research done in the institute will be further shared across the country in order to promote Ayurvedic medicines. OPD at the institute would soon start functioning here. On the occasion, Union Ayush Minister Shripad Yeso Nayak said that during COVID pandemic, Ayush medicines became very popular. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special year-ender series. The government is implementing the ambitious One Nation, One Ration Card plan to ensure seamless access to public distribution system and delivery of food security entitlements to all beneficiaries covered under the National Food Security. This is being done through nationwide portability of ration cards in association with all states and union territories. In a move to reform and modernize the public distribution system, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had in May last year announced that One Nation, One Ration Card will be implemented, under which any migrant beneficiary with a ration card can get his food provisions at any fair price store located anywhere in India.
In order to benefit migrant workers, we are coming up with a national portability of the cards, which is public distribution ration cards can be used in any ration card, any ration shop in any part of the country as you move along. So national portability, which is now being defined as One Nation, One Ration Card, will be implemented.
Addressing the nation in June last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said the major beneficiaries of One Nation, One Ration Card will be those who go to other states in search of employment.
अब पूरे भारत के लिए एक राशन कार्ड की व्यवस्था भी हो रही है, यानी एक राष्ट्र एक राशन कार्ड, वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड. इसका सबसे बड़ा लाभ उन गरीब साथियों को मिलेगा जो रोजगार या दूसरी आवश्यकताओं के लिए अपना गांव छोड़ करके कहीं और जाते हैं.
The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special year-ender series. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The implementation of One Nation, One Ration Card plan is one of the top priorities of the Department of Food and Public Distribution to provide an option to all eligible ration card holders to access their entitlements from anywhere in the country. The progress of implementation of this plan is regularly reviewed. Presently, this initiative is seamlessly enabled in a single cluster of 32 states and UTs covering about 69 crore beneficiaries. Due to its potential to serve the migrants, this initiative has also become a part of the Prime Minister's technology-driven system reforms under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. With Anupam Mishra, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has wrapped up his 3-day visit to Sri Lanka. The Indian Embassy in Sri Lanka yesterday thanked the Foreign Minister of the island nation, Dinesh Gunwardana, for making the visit a huge success. Earlier in the day, Dr. Jaishankar held a productive meeting with Fisheries Minister Douglas Devanand. In a tweet, the External Affairs Minister said they reviewed the cooperation in fisheries after the recent joint working group session and added that they look forward to working with him closely. Dr. Jaishankar also met the Tamil National Alliance and the Tamil Progressive Alliance delegations.
Moving on to sports. In cricket, Australia were 310 for 8 against India on day 2 of the third test at Sydney a short while ago. Ravindra Jadeja took the third wicket of Manas Labuschagne, who scored a half-century. The match was stopped for a brief period due to rain and wet outfield. Earlier, Australia resumed their second-day play from an overnight score of 166 for 2. The hosts had won the toss and elected to bat first on the opening day. The 51st International Film Festival of India, or IFFI, has released the lineup of international movies for competition during the festival. The best of the feature-length fiction films from all over the world are selected to compete in the section. Movies that are part of the stellar lineup include The Domain, Into the Darkness and February.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. In Srinagar, the sky will remain cloudy. Temperature will hover between -2 degrees Celsius and 7 degrees. In Jammu, there will be partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 9 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 20 degrees. Leh will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Gilgit to experience generally cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Dehradun observed a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees. Chandigarh had fog or mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The temperature is likely to hover from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius. The national capital will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Vaccine takeoff from Pune waits for government to place order is the headline in the Times of India, as the process of dispatch may start today. Almost all the dailies have covered the news of US Congress certifying Biden-Harris victory on the front page as pro-Trump mobs stormed the Capitol. The Pioneer writes, Trump concedes defeat after Capitol siege. The Indian Express quotes Prime Minister Modi terming the protests unlawful. Marking India's worst economic performance since 1961-62, the country's GDP is expected to contract this fiscal is a front-page story in all the newspapers. Hindustan Times writes, as per the government estimate, full-year GDP to fall 7.7%. Business Standard adds, construction, manufacturing seen reviving in second half. And finally, India's first indoor ski park to come up at Kufri, notes the Statesman.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Second nationwide dry run of COVID-19 vaccination drive to be held today in 736 districts of 33 states and union territories. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.36% in the country. Government to hold 8th round of talks with farmer unions in New Delhi today. JEE advanced test to be held on 3rd of July this year. And in cricket, Australia 310 for 8 against India on second day of Sydney test. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsoneir.com and News on EIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.